Yo, this is Nova Trifecta. I am Jimmy Fedora, aka alias BKA Juicy J. Um, all the above.
Man, Negro, what's good?
What's up? This is Big Boy Troy.
Welcome back, big boy. Where you been, man? It been a couple
That
podcasts,
boy been working.
but people ain't seen you. Somebody asked me, did you get your ass whooped? What happened?
Well, I mean, yeah, you can say I've been getting my ass whooped. The COVID explosion after Thanksgiving hit our plant really hard between people taking off for the holidays, COVID happening, and buying Christmas gifts for 4 kids is not cheap. It all hit me at one time. So I've been working anywhere from 64 to, I mean, I've been pulling some hours, fellas. I've been pulling some hours.
Look, I saw this Jet Li quote yesterday on social media that said, "We killing ourselves for a job that would replace us tomorrow if we drop dead."
Yep.
I've always kind of thought like that. Like, you know what? Screw these jobs, man. Like, look, I appreciate a job, but man, listen, I don't want to wait to be like I just don't I know it's different with because you got 4 kids and a wife.
Yeah.
So it's just different. It's just things that you got to do that I could say no to that you can't say no to.
Yes.
But man, hey, they working. I feel bad for you because I know just being on nights as long as I've been working overnight, I know how rough it can be on your body. So I couldn't even imagine getting to the end of that shift because see, I've got an option. When they come to me and ask me, hey, you want to stay over for somebody in the morning because such and such didn't come in, and almost 100% of the time, it's going to be a no for me, man. Because this morning, I've been here all night and I'm exhausted and I'm ready to go and I don't got to take care of nobody but myself.
Yeah.
But you got to take care of other people. So it's different.
Yeah, I'm in a different situation, man. I'm grateful for it. I try not to complain about this job because for the first time in my, first time since me and Lindsay's been married and we've had all the kids, like things have been a little bit more comfortable financial wise around the house. We've been able to do a little bit more.
At what cost?
There's times where I didn't even have a job and it was just up to her. There was times where I had jobs that I was barely, it's like, man, I don't know if I'm making money or if I'm wasting money. We've had some hard times financially in my household. So when I got a hold of this job, I tried to, if it ever starts to get too much and I ever get to start complaining a little too much, I have to step back and be like, well, one, I'm trying to give my kids a better life and my wife a better life. And two, I don't want to go back to where I was swiping a card praying it wouldn't say decline just for like food or for, basic stuff at Walmart, groceries. I mean, it was tough before I got this job here in this house. I mean, if it hadn't been for our family, Lindsay's mama, my mom and dad, her aunts. I mean, it was, we had some tough times. So when you think,
and that's what family is for. You know what I mean?
exactly. When you
Y'all
think
a good team, man. Y'all are a good team.
All right,
yeah.
we're glad to have you back. Let's get.
I'm glad to be back. Missed you guys.
You know what I mean? Nova Trifecta, we back. What we want to get into today, let's talk some sports. We hadn't talked sports in quite some time. And around the corner this Sunday, actually, the GOAT's playing in the Super Bowl. Baby GOAT versus the actual GOAT. Tom versus Patrick Mahomes. It's a lot of stars on the field. Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Leonard Fournette.
Tyreek Hill, one of the fastest humans I ever seen in my life.
Travis Kelce.
Kelce. AB.
Got Kelsey out there. Kelsey a legend.
It's a lot of stars. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the skills matchup. Let's go to the receivers. Who do you guys think have the better group of skill guys? That's interesting.
I mean, honestly, I think it's a no-brainer.
That's a good one.
Kansas City to me just look, Tyreek Hill, one of the fastest humans that I think that I've ever seen. I'm taking Tyreek Hill over anybody right now.
Well, I'm saying as a group. I'm not just saying, as a group.
As a collective,
receivers and running backs,
I'm still going with Kansas City.
As a group, if you put it on paper, Tampa Bay with Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, Scotty Miller, Cameron Braid at the tight end position.
Mm-hmm. Leonard Fournette, running back.
You got Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones.
Yeah.
And
Shady McCoy.
Yeah. I mean, as a group on paper, it's Tampa Bay, but then again, you got a man that's hard to cover. And hey man, you got two. Travis Kelce.
And you got a legendary tight end. I mean, Tampa Bay got the legendary tight end, but he's also
mentioned Gronk. Yeah.
Well, he's also a shell of himself, though. I mean, he can't do the things he used to do. So right now, I'm taking Kelce. From a legendary standpoint, I'm taking Gronk. 5 years ago, give me Gronk over anybody. Anybody.
Yeah, I agree. Quarterback. Which quarterback you rocking with in this Super Bowl?
Well, right now, again, I'm going with Patty. Right now, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. Now, we all know that Tom Brady may not only be the best quarterback of all time. Tom Brady might be the best football player of all time. Right now, without this championship, he may be the best football player of all time. So his legacy is cemented. We get it. I always been a Peyton guy, but I can't even deny it anymore. Like this guy, I think Tom just celebrated 84th birthday. Okay, so Tom just turned 84 years old, just went to another franchise with a whole new roster. That's some LeBron-ish. And so, Tom is the GOAT. We all know that. But right now, at this moment, Patrick Mahomes is the best football player in the league. So I would take Patrick Mahomes right now. I'm taking Patty Mahomes.
What about you, Kendall?
I'm not going against the GOAT.
Wait a minute before you start, Kendall. That doesn't mean I'm taking Kansas City in the championship.
Okay, I'm talking about specifically for this game. This matchup, this offense versus this defense.
I'm rolling with Tom Brady. He's been there 10 times now. He's finally got weapons all around him. I'm gonna go with Tom Brady. That's
I'm
not saying that Tom Brady is the best quarterback in the league right now, like his skill wise, because that's between Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers to me. But Tom Brady is the GOAT, and he has been there 10 times now. He's been in the league 20 times. He's been in the league 20 years. He's been to the Super Bowl 10 times. He's won it 6 of those. He could put on 7 this Sunday, this coming Sunday. I just watching that game. Was it last week? Yeah, last week. I mean, Aaron Rod. As bad as he played, he still was clutch when he needed to be clutch, and that's just something that's just. He's the most
situational football.
But I look at it. I look at it also like Aaron, and I love me some A-Rod. I love Aaron Rodgers. I have his entire career. But Aaron let him off the hook last week. He tried to give him the game.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't take it. He wouldn't take it. And if you the man, it's one thing for you not to win the game. It's another thing entirely for you not to take it when the opposing quarterback is trying to give it to you. And he didn't take it. I love Aaron. I think he's legendary, but he didn't take it. And I think if Tom Brady throws 3 interceptions, look, how many times that's going to happen? It's
3 consecutive possessions.
Yeah. If Tom Brady does that against Patrick Mahomes, it'll be 70. It'll be 70-7 in the first half. I think I don't know, because it's just so difficult to bet against Tom Brady. As much as I want to, I ain't never been a big Tom fan, but I'm coming around. Tom really seems like an all-American good dude. Like, he does seem like a good guy. It's kind of hard to pull against him, really.
I agree. I think Tom gonna have a good game, man. The first matchup, Tyreek Hill, they for some reason they was playing man to man, and he was just toasting their ass. But when they started giving them help and they ran a little zone, I think Pat Mahomes only threw for 100 yards in the second half. So they found something that they could work with in this Super Bowl moving forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so Tampa Bay is a different team offensively. AB gonna be healthy, Mike gonna be there, Scotty Miller. But on the flip side, you got Kelsey that's unguardable. You got Tyreek Hill. You got McCole Hardman. Sammy Watkins gonna be back. So and Sammy had a hell of a game in the Super Bowl last year, and so it's gonna be very interesting.
I don't know who's gonna win the game.
Yeah, what about the head coach in this particular matchup? What about the head coaches? Which head coach? I know y'all probably gonna pick, but which head coach can you depend on in this situation?
I'm going with Andy Reid. I mean, I'm going with Andy Reid, even though I'm not gonna act like Andy Reid hadn't lost some big games. I mean, he has lost big games his entire career. So, but I'm going with Andy Reid. Andy Reid is still a great coach, and he won last year. You gotta, that counts for something. So I'm going with Andy Reid with the coaches.
What about you, Kendall?
I see. Andy Reid's had more chances to do this than BA. Bruce Arians hasn't been coaching as long as Andy Reid. He's
been coaching for a long time, but I get what you're saying.
Head coach. I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know. I love
just off what you've seen this year. You know what I mean? Well, you got to factor in the other years and experience and stuff like that, but just situational football and going for it and stuff like that, because both of them from that same.
Both of them got balls now.
Exactly.
Both of them got some big balls. I have seen. I think BA has done a better job of coaching this year, because in the beginning it was very rocky. BA was like that. Him and Tom wasn't on the same page. Tom wasn't doing what he, everybody wasn't on the same page.
He was calling Tom out too,
but because of this crazy year. And he started calling Tom out and saying this and that. And I think he's admitted that too. He said, I've had to kind of just step back and let Tom coach a little bit.
Yeah, because you can't call out the GOAT like that. I mean, who do you even sound like?
But yeah, exactly. Because I think, and I don't know, in my mind, I want to think that might have been a private conversation that Tom might have went to Bruce and was like, look, I left from a place because of what you're doing now. That man, behind closed door, he roasted. I mean, it's been stories. Bill Belichick roasted and dogged Tom Brady out, in front of the whole team. And I think Tom wanted to get away from that and be able to feel more comfortable and loose. And I think they finally, Bruce finally understood a little bit more about Tom. Tom finally understood a little bit more about what Bruce wanted. And I think the wide receivers and the offense, they all got on the same page. And they've been rolling. They've got hot when it mattered.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are sleeping on that Tampa Bay defense.
Yeah, they got some dogs over there. Devin White, JPP.
Was it Levante David, I think, and Devin White. Well, they've been all over the field. And then that front,
nasty, low key, like JPP and Ndamukong Suh. I love Ndamukong Suh.
You got is it Vita Vea, the Hawaiian that's in there too? I mean, and their secondary wasn't healthy against Green Bay either.
Both of them will be back. Antoine Winfield, the second, all he do is make plays. All he do is make plays, kind of like his pops. So, I'm interested to see, who are you taking? I want to know definitively. Give me a score if you can. So who y'all boys rocking with?
I'm going with Kansas City. I'm going with Kansas City 48-45.
Ooh, okay. What about you, Kendall?
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm taking Tampa. I'm going to say it's going to be 31-24 Tampa Bay.
Ooh, okay. I'm taking Tampa Bay.
Patty just gonna score 24.
Yeah, I'm taking Tampa Bay 34-38. 34-38. That's what I'm rocking
So
with.
both of y'all got Tampa. I got Kansas City. I'm going with the new kid. Y'all going with old GOAT.
Yeah, old GOAT. I got bets on him. So let's pull it on through, Tom. Let's pull it on through.
Taking old heavyweight champ.
At what point is Tom Brady gonna have to pass the baton? He gotta pass it at some time. He gotta look. Watching Tom Brady win his 7th Super Bowl and the first time he got away from Bill Belichick to win the Super Bowl would be quite the spectacle. So I'm not gonna sit here and say that I wouldn't like to see Tom Brady win it. And I've never pulled for him in his career. But watching him win this year would be quite the spectacle.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to pretend that I wouldn't like to see Tom win it. But I also want Patty Mahomes to win too. That'll set him up. He can play pressure-free football the rest of his career. It ain't no telling what he can accomplish. Playing the rest of his career with it also could take the drive away from him. I don't know, but we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. But Andy Reid has suffered long enough, and he deserves to get in 2 in a row.
All right. Well, that's our Super Bowl picks, people. Hey, comment in the box. You know what you guys are picking. Hopefully it's Tampa Bay. Hopefully it's Kansas City. We all need to win us some money.
But
if you're betting by the quarter, if you're betting the spread, let's get this money.
Yeah, I saw the spread was only Kansas City by 3.
Yeah, and that line moves every day.
It sure does.
All right, well, let's get into our next topic. I want to talk a little NBA. We hadn't been on here talking sports in a while, so let's get into a little NBA. Have you guys watched the NBA? Have you been intrigued? What are some of the rookies that you may be impressed by? What are your impressions on this NBA season thus far? Well,
thus far, I just been keeping up with highlights and things like that. I watched the Lakers and the Celtics last night. I'm a big Laker fan, so I think I watched 3 of the Laker games and this season so far, and I watched when the Ball brothers played each other. So I watched about 4 games thus far this season. I'm always impressed with LeBron James. He's a basketball savant. So I'm always impressed with Bron. But that's about as much as I've watched. COVID has just, COVID-19 just thrown everything off this year, even from a big sports fan like me. It's just kind of, it's weird watching with no fans. It feels weird. Buzzer beaters don't feel the same. Game-winning shots don't feel the same. Trash talk doesn't feel the same. Big comebacks don't feel the same. Like, I never thought I would miss seeing the fans as much as I do, but I miss the fans being there. It does take an element away from the game, from just watching it at home, because it kind of feels like a professional pickup game watching it now, or professional watching NBA players practice. That's what it kind of feels like. Now, yeah, we still seeing great play, and I wonder how that affects the players too. Like, I wonder with players I don't know if players still get nervous at the NBA level when they go out and play in front of thousands of fans, but going in there playing in an empty arena, I bet that takes a lot of pressure off.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. What about you, Ken? What about you, Kendall? What do you thought about the season thus far? Have you had time to watch? What have you seen?
Man, I'll be honest with you. I've not been able to watch a full game yet. I have watched a lot of highlights. I have kept up with the ball, with the youngest ball boy that is over there in Charlotte. Matter of fact, the most Melo. Sorry, I couldn't think of his name. Melo. The most I have watched of a game is when me and you, Juicy, we went out to eat and the Ball brothers were squaring off. That's the most I've watched of a game. I have kept up with my Spurs. It's hard not to keep up with LeBron James and what LA's doing. That's mega superstar, the best in the league right now. So seeing him do all sorts of stuff is crazy. I seen, my Spurs have got 3 in a row. So that's nice. I talked to you a little bit the other day about the Mavs. Like I really like Luka. And they're kind of struggling, but their 3 best players have yet to play together. Brooklyn seems to be on fire offensively, but doesn't seem to be able to stop people defensively.
And that's what I wanted. That's what I was waiting on one of y'all to bring up right there. Do you think that style of play would work for them winning a championship this year? Winning games 140 to 137, 144 to 138. Is that a style conducive to winning the championship?
I'm still firm believer that offense wins championship. I mean, offense wins games, but defense wins some championship. You've got to be able to make some stops when it matters the most.
But I tell you the truth, and as much as I agree with that, we had never seen a team with this much firepower. We thought we did with Golden State, but I tell you, this team right here with Harden, Kyrie, and Durant may be the most firepower we've ever seen on one team.
But does it fit? But somebody got to take that.
No, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit at all. But most of these super teams don't fit. Miami didn't fit.
Well, when you're comparing it to Golden State
highlights, but they didn't fit playing together. LeBron fits much better with AD than he ever did with Dwayne Wade.
No, I'm talking about Golden State. You brought up Golden State. They that was the perfect fit.
They did. They fit well together. Personality wise, they might not have, but with KD, but they did fit well together. But this Brooklyn Nets team, I tell you the truth, it's got to be something said about just not being able to stop the 3 top players on the team. You can't stop them. They all can score at will. Now, are they going to have great chemistry? I doubt it. Are they going to be able to stop people defensively? Well, you got the 3 best players on the team, and none of them are defensive players. Kevin Durant turned into a better defensive player when he got to Golden State because he fitted in that system so seamlessly, and they were the Golden State was a good defensive team. That's part of the reason why they won, 3 championships out of 5 in 5 seasons. So he got better when he got there, but I mean, it's not like Kevin Durant's a defensive stopper. James don't play no defense. Well, James played some defense last year, though. I ain't gonna say that about James because James played some defense last year. I don't know if they're gonna be able to get it right defensively before they need to this season, but we'll see.
I think Kyrie you never know when he's gonna start pouting again. When what if he just goes off on a tangent, that he just got through doing and just doesn't show up.
I hope he does because I don't want to play him as a Laker fan.
I don't know.
I think it'll add to Brown legacy. He beat him because I think they can beat him.
I think they will beat him. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I ain't gonna say because I don't know if Brooklyn's gonna be in the finals or not. So
Brooklyn might not be Philly.
I don't.
Exactly.
You're right.
And Philly, they talk about Philly might be getting JJ back. That's a good sharpshooter.
Well, Philly looked good against us the other night. They beat us the other night, and LeBron did a unusually dirty play.
Yeah.
They don't usually do no mess like that, but that was out of line.
He said something to Bron. That's what happened.
Said something to him. Said something about Savannah. Bron didn't like that.
Something like.
Some got his juices going because that was very uncharacteristic of him.
It was uncharacteristic, and I didn't even see him try to help him up or apologize to him. He must have said something to Bron.
See, I just caught the highlights of it, so I don't even know how that game was going or what. I just
Embiid joke around a lot. He said something Bron didn't like.
Yeah. I've been impressed with LaMelo Ball. It's only been a handful of rookies that have been impressive. Wiseman has been in spurts. But nobody has been as impressive as Anthony Edwards looked pretty good, but nobody's been as impressive as LaMelo Ball. He got it. He got star quality last night. The night before Lonzo played against the Bucs, he had 27 and 9, hit like 7 or 8 threes. And then the following night, LaMelo had to play. I mean, he had 27 points, 8 for 10 from the field, like 9 assists. But he could score on all 3 levels of the floor. He got the 3-ball. That 3-ball looking. He catching it in transition. It's smooth, butter. He getting into the lane. He finding the open man. He finishing around the rim. He getting to the foul line. I mean, he got it, man. And
Yeah,
He's very
Melo gonna be a star player for a long time, because Melo is 6'8" and handle the ball, like he can handle the ball and see the floor like he can because of his size, dish the ball like he can make shots. He's got a good basketball IQ. He keeps his teammates involved. Melo gonna be good for a long time. I do. I think he's gonna be a star player.
I do too.
And Lonzo, I appreciate watching Lonzo. I always have liked Lonzo. Lonzo fixed the shot. So the shot got a different release, not releasing it from across his body, the way he used to. And to be honest with you, that way worked for him his whole life too. But in the NBA, it didn't work as well when he had to get it off a little bit quicker. But
MVP so far this season. It's a quarter through the season, so I mean, Bron, okay. What about you?
That's all I'm seeing is LeBron doing what he does. I mean, KD's over there balling too, but I don't know. Like I said, I haven't been. I'm only just getting to see highlights. I was about to ask you: is Zion Williams still playing basketball? Or
Zion Williams just broke a record. Like,
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not getting the update. Like, all my phone is blowing up with is like a few highlights here and there, but it's mostly like Spurs and Lakers stuff. They
just fell in love with, like, last year. Zion was the media darling. You know what I mean? It was all things Zion, but I mean,
yeah, exactly.
It ain't been those kind of highlights. It really been
Melo,
the media darling now.
Exactly, Melo. That's why I had to ask you guys. Like,
but the NBA always gonna go with the freshest and the new face.
And he got a huge following, like a huge following. But my MVP so far, I'm gonna go Joel Embiid, then Brown.
Yeah,
Joel Embiid.
That ain't a bad pick.
Yeah, he's been playing out his mind.
You know what? Let me change it. I think Luka. I
can't give him the MVP because they got a losing record.
But they're 500, aren't they?
They're under 500 now.
Oh, they under 500.
Yeah, it's plenty players in the NBA that play well and they look great and everything. But if your team got a losing record, the league looks at it like, well, how valuable can you be? How valuable can you be?
Over there hooping.
I think that record would look even worse if he wasn't there, though.
Well, yeah, I give you that. And the bubble team is kind of struggling because, I mean, they kind of finding their foot now, but the bubble teams kind of look like they tired, and the teams that didn't go to the bubble got bounced early. They gonna have a long season. The bubble team's gonna have a long season. Yeah, I think Anthony Davis suffering from a little fatigue. Yeah,
I get sick of. Listen, I've loved basketball my entire life. I would get sick and tired of playing basketball if I had to play it year round like that. And with them just coming out of the bubble a couple of months ago, winning the championship and not really getting the all season. I know they had, 2 months off smack dab in the middle of the season last year, but
I don't think you can really call. They didn't get a chance to really just get away and reset their batteries. And
they didn't.
Because they've had to stay. Everything's been locked down. They haven't been able to travel and go places. It's fatigue is good.
They got to be burned out on basketball. They got to be tired, and they probably just don't want to play.
Yeah, I agree. All right, well, that's what we're gonna wrap it up right there with the NBA talk. We only a quarter way through the season, so we just wanted to touch on it a little bit because we hadn't touched on it in quite some times. But what I have for you guys today, this is off script. It's an article that I ran by. I just want to get y'all thoughts about it. All right. This article says that a robot in Saudi Arabia got granted citizenship. What do y'all think?
That's that robot from Ex Machina.
Yeah, it's the first robot to
say that again, Juicy.
A robot, a social humanoid robot developed by Hong Kong-based company Hanson Robotics, got citizenship in 2017 to become a Saudi Arabian citizen.
That's scary.
What do you think what we headed to, man? What's going on?
You're headed to that. You're headed to this. You're headed to our everyday lives consisting of a lot of AI running things.
Ultron.
Look at most of your restaurants now. You can pay, pull up the menu, and even order from your booth on a little screen, on a little tablet. Look at what Walmart's done with the self-checkout stuff. Most fast food joints, you can go to a kiosk and put in your order, pay, and they'll just call your number out. Look at what all the drones are doing, man. It is becoming, look at what our, like, I know you two don't have school age children that are in school, but we've got them where if things get too bad, we're coming home with computers and they're just sitting looking at a computer and a computer screen teaching them and saying stuff and all that. You're taking the element of teachers, hands-on, working with students, showing them stuff and helping them. We're going to we're going to work like that.
Kind of scared.
And
what if
stuff?
So like, what if the next step? What if the next step is they becoming androids? They can look more human-like. You could tell they still robots, but they got some bicentennial shit going on where it's like half robot, half human. And my next question is, would you date one? Would you date one? And by dating one, you know what that leads to. And I don't know if I want to be too PG. Would you have sex with a robot?
No.
You wouldn't have a sex with a robot.
Clamp on your junk down there, man, and you can't get loose.
I was about to say, what if that thing just tightens up on you?
Tighten up on you, man. Clamp on you.
It had different mechanics. Like it could, you know what I mean? Like
it also can clamp on your junk and not let you loose. And then you gotta take that walk of shame to the doctor to try to get the doctor to get you loose from the ex-marketer machine.
You can have cool little Android babies and they could be good at sports, powerful, fast, run 4.2s, have 45-inch verticals. I'm telling you.
I'm rolling with the kids I got now.
Okay.
Well,
I'm gonna have
I don't want none of that machine love.
I'm gonna have some Android babies.
But I want to be something though. If you think about it, some of the toys, some of the bedroom toys ain't too far from.
That's true. That's what I'm saying. And then you get
if you and your lady, have used toys, some of that stuff ain't too far away from, but that would be just crazy. I mean, you're talking about like a robot, not a sex doll or toy. You're talking about an actual robot.
But I'm saying, like, that's what it is.
Android kill you in the bed, man.
It's like a walking, talking sex doll. Could you imagine that thing on top of you and it's just spinning its body around? And you could just make it. Be people marrying robots and shit. We had it down.
That's their WandaVision. Wanda dating a robot, a dead one.
Hey, them things might replace a lot of men,
Or women. What you talking about? Don't say you ain't gotta.
Hey, I'm telling you, don't play. They'll replace women. You ain't got to deal with all the baggage.
Yeah.
Shoot.
You turn it off when you get good and ready to turn it off. I mean, I think there are people that are
misogynistic.
There are people that are gonna do that, and they're going to be attracted to that. I mean, let's not be, naive. There are people out there that are into a lot of freaky, kinky stuff. So there's going to be a market for that. If it ever opens up, there'll be a market, man. There will be a market.
In that market. I would definitely fuck a robot. I'm in that market. I'm trying to see. I'll let y'all know. What it feel like.
I'm in that market.
Is it cheating?
I'm a small man. I ain't taking no chance on no robot.
If you're in a relationship and you get one of these Android robot ladies or women, is it cheating if you got her in the closet to come out and just handle a little business?
Yeah, because if I walked in a room and saw my girl in there having sex with a android that can do 10 times the damage that I can do.
And look, this android,
I'm gonna be beat off with her.
And she get to build an android how she wanted to, so it gonna be like a 6'5" buff motherfucker.
You walk in there, the android in there looking like Boris.
Exactly. Have a piece on him that,
and you in there looking like a little rat. No. She gonna bounce you for the robot. No, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
I'm not gonna worry about that because that thing's gonna be so expensive, and we've got 4 kids. We got to get through college and pay for weddings. Lindsay's not gonna have enough money to do that.
It won't be affordable to the public for a while.
Never underestimate pleasure. What people will do for pleasure.
True, that's true. Now
that's true. You see, man, got that Viagra rolled out quick.
I'm telling you.
You know what I mean? So,
and
see,
I might go and get on that robot sex stock.
I mean, for real? Why are you playing? Like Ryan Davis said,
I'll go ahead and be real with you. See, like from a married man standpoint, I would consider I would consider that cheating. And I think my wife would too, unless it was something that
you're jealous.
Unless it was something that like we created it together. Like we said, hey, let's create it together. Now, if I just come in one day and I see like a catalog, out there of all sorts of stuff, or it just gets delivered to my front door,
If you walk in there and you see that robot in there smashing your wife, you're going to go ballistic and get killed by that robot.
Not the robot killed.
That robot going to look at you while it's in there with your wife and say, you better go talk to him.
The robot end up catching villains. it got out of hand more than what it should be.
Yeah.
Woman in there, your wife in there going crazy.
I might start.
That robot is there doing anything, boy. The robot don't get tired and don't get done in a minute. Boy, shoot, you better not let that robot come in there.
That robot not handling business, man.
That robot in there. What's going on in here? Wife in there.
You all that clapping. It's an audience in there. What you going there? Oh man, you just that could cost me.
Oh, I'll be mad. I'll be mad. But the problem is you can't kill it.
Yeah, you can shoot that. I'm pumping lead.
You can't kill no robot like that.
Yeah, it didn't had a little plot to take over your family. Then changed all the pictures out and cut you out and put.
You seen Smart House? That robot, that AI lock all your doors. You can't get out.
That's true. That is true, man. I mean, I probably just going to go a couple houses down and tell Juicy, hey, it happened, bro.
It happened.
It happened. I guess me and you now.
That was hilarious. That was a good little segment right there. All right. Anything you want to say to the people before we get out of here?
Look, everybody, it's still COVID season. Don't forget, it's still COVID season. Keep your mask on, practice personal hygiene, social distance as much as you can. I know it's getting harder and harder to social distance and everything. And frankly, we sick of sitting in the house, but at least put your mask on. Let's try to be courteous and protect as many people as we can because this thing's still out here, and it's still
anything you suggest to watch?
WandaVision.
Okay. What about you, Kendall? Any message to the people? Anything to watch?
It's good to be back with you guys, man. I've missed y'all.
Good to have you back.
Oh yeah.
I missed having our little audience, man. I missed, interacting with everybody on Facebook about different things and things that are said in the episode. So it's just good to be back, man. 2020 is behind us. We got 2021, so let's make the best of it, man. Let's get out there and get going.
Big Boy Troy, first episode of 2021.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. Let's let's unite a little bit more than what we did last year. How about that?
Yeah.
And I'll leave you with some. I think you guys might have already went over it, but the movie Soul I just finished watching today. That was very good.
Oh, it's a brilliant movie.
I mean, that was a very good movie. It will make you think long and hard about a lot of stuff. I liked it a lot.
It's a brilliant movie.
Also, a movie I've watched a little bit of it, but I have not finished it. But it's very good, and it's on Amazon Prime. It's called One Night in Miami. It's about Malcolm X, Sam Cooke, Muhammad Ali, and there's four of them. Malcolm X, Sam Cooke. I haven't finished all of it. Anyway, it is really good, and it's actually about like a night that all of them had like at a hotel room talking about different things in Miami. It's really good. It's a really
I heard it was real good. I'm gonna watch it. Oh, yeah. And watch the new Justin Timberlake movie, Palmer. I watched it this morning. It was great. It's a great movie.
Okay. Again, echoing what they were saying. COVID season, wear your mask. I know, somebody I went to high school with that I've known my whole life. Her mother just passed away, complications from it. It's out here, people. So wear your mask, sanitize your hands, do what we need to do until we get on the other side of this. Just, and prayer. What I suggest for you guys to watch is The Magicians. The whole series. It's 5 seasons. It's like an adult Harry Potter. It's serious moments, it's funny moments, it's cheesy moments. But if you like Harry Potter, magic, sorcery, witches, other realms and other worlds, and mystic creatures, then this is a show that you will enjoy. All right. It was good to have you back. Nova Trifecta, baby. We will be back next week. We'll probably be talking about the Super Bowl. Again, check out our reviews with WandaVision. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment to everything that we have. We on all streaming platforms. All right. Nova Trifecta, we out, baby.